And we're back with the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. You can check the Screen Team out on our website, ScreenTeamPB.com. You can take a look at some of the movies we've already reviewed, and you can check out all the members of the Screen Team, ScreenTeamPB.com. Our final film with our adoption-themed week is Juno. This is a 2007 American comedy film directed by Jason Reitman and was written by Diablo Cody. Ellen Page stars as the title character. Juno, what's this about?
Juno is the name of the lead character, a young high school girl, old enough to drive, but not out of high school yet. So, and she's not a typical cheerleader type personality. She's not a typical egghead personality, and she's by no means an athlete. She's that other branch of personalities out there that really don't want to be defined by labels. Mm-hmm. But she's very eclectic. She's very different than the way I was as a kid.
She's an old soul.
She's an old soul, yes. And she's wise beyond her years in some ways, and very much her age in others. And in that aspect is where she ends up being a teenage
pregnancy statistic?
Teenage pregnancy statistic, yes.
Look at that.
But she's, one of those girls that, well, it was just once, and I was just trying it out, and, well, it only takes once. So this happens early on in fact, the opening credits are her chugging some juice to go into the Quickie Mart and get another pregnancy test just to make sure that she was right the first time.
It's not an Etch-a-Sketch.
Right. There are so many amazing lines in this movie that you could just really hold a conversation, nothing but lines from the movie. It's very entertaining all the way through, but it's not...
And of course, that's props to Diablo Cody,
yes.
the lady who wrote this.
Very colorful.
Yeah, she won an Oscar for this film.
Yes, she did, and well deserved.
Yes,
because at the time it was not something like we were seeing on the usual puke from Hollywood.
Now you're starting to sound like me.
Oh no. So anyway, so she goes through the whole emotional. Well, what am I going to do? And she's got her best friend, and then she has to approach the father, and he's clueless.
Oh,
he's so. But I'm on the cross country team, and all we do is run. It's very simple, not simple-minded, but just a simple approach. There's this and there's this in life. What more do you need? And but yet they're friends. And they've sat and played guitar together and stuff. They they just like simple entertainment.
And he's very supportive of her.
Yes. He's such a good boy.
Yes.
And doesn't want his mom to know he knocked her up.
Right.
So they kind of, we just won't go that route. But, so then she has to tell her parents. And then their response to it was, I guess I thought it would have been drugs or something. Didn't see that coming. And they're just sort of, now what do we do?
Which you can tell where Juno got her
sense of humor and her approach to life.
Yeah.
She's very much like her father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who, by the way, is played by the guy that was in Whiplash, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's her stepmother.
And it's her stepmother,
and
yes.
she's just really... She's kind of like Juno. She'll just tell you what
Yes.
She will
No
say what
filter.
she thinks, just like she did to the ultrasound technician when Juno had her first ultrasound.
Yeah.
Let her have it.
Yeah. So all of this is just sort of building up to, well, I don't want to keep it. I want to adopt it out. And that all happens within, the first 40 minutes
I think so. Yeah.
approximately?
Because she had considered abortion.
That's right, she did.
And she met the girl at the front that says...
Your baby has fingernails.
Your baby has fingernails, and all babies want to be born. And
right.
And she's just one girl out there chanting in front of the clinic, and she's kind of like, And she gets in there, and she starts. Some of the ladies like tapping her fingernails on the countertop, and she's like. Next thing you know, she's walking past the girl, going, Okay, you got me. Guess I'm going to give it up for adoption.
I think that's a very important message, because sometimes, when you're trying to let people know, to be pro-life and stuff like that, sometimes you feel like your message isn't getting across, but sometimes even the littlest minute detail can help somebody,
choose a different path.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right, that there is other options. That's right.
Yes, so Juno does what we all hoped mothers would do that were faced with the decision and chose adoption, the loving option.
That's right.
So she says, well, okay, I'm going to cook it a little longer until it's ready to come out, and then we'll give it to somebody. So that's pretty much her approach, and it's that cut and dry. Well, then she has to find a family, and so they find them in the Penny Miser.
Yes, back in the little ads.
And a little teeny tiny ad. They want a baby. Okay, let's go see them. So she has all of this sorted out before she ever tells her parents. Well, then she goes and she meets them, and they're like, okay, well, they're your typical perfect family appearance. Everything's clean and dry and in its place, and especially the mom, who is played by
Jennifer Gardner.
Thank you.
She reminded me a lot of you. Should we have it blue or pink? No, let's do more of a mustard yellow, I think.
Is it eggshell or is it, she's very detail-oriented.
And then Justin Bateman.
And plays the husband. Yes. And it becomes very apparent that there's more to this process than just what Juno's going through. All of a sudden now she's taking into consideration the feelings and perspective home life of her offspring. And not that she wants to see him be involved in his life or anything, but she starts to think, okay, I want to make sure they're happy. So she keeps going back to visit them. And in doing so, she discovers there's more to them than meets the eye. And it's not in a bad, horrific way. It's a, oh my gosh, she was ready and he was not.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away more than I should, but the movie is really based on not only did Juno have to have decisions to make,
so did the adoptive family.
Right. And the movie concludes with an amazing decision.
Yes. I love the ending.
I'll leave it at that. An amazing decision that is actually done by all of them. And but the true holder of the keys is always going to be the biological mother.
That's true.
That's right. And that's something to me that made me admire her more, Juno, with her decision.
Yeah.
Seeing how it ends.
Yeah.
That made me more proud.
Yeah. And it's a good movie. It's a good adoption feel movie.
It's a great adoption movie.
It's also a good movie for young people to see who think, life is just this and this. Right. Well, it's not. Right. There are so many things to take into consideration, and a well-planned, spontaneous decision maker will be able to make better spontaneous decisions.
Right. Well, and Juno has different emotions throughout the whole movie. Like she said, she is kind of like, whatever, I'm going to tell you like it is. But yet she is emotional. There's 2 times that she breaks down throughout the movie, and it's just, it just shows where her heart is in the right place. It's awesome.
Yep.
Great movie.
One thing I got out of doing this show is obviously we've had 3 different kinds of movies we reviewed here today about adoption. And that kind of reminds me of something we've talked about before in the past, is not everybody's experience in adoption is the same. Everybody has a different unique path. There's no blueprint on how to do that. And we all kind of go through our own paths, and that's what makes it very unique and special and well worth it.
That's right.
It's very, very cool. And I'm so glad we got to do this edition of the Screen Team. And to anybody out there who's thinking of adoption or foster care and you need some advice, feel free to contact us here at the Screen Team, and we'd be happy to pass that information along to you. It's a very, very cool thing you can do for a little child and for yourself as well. Kim, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you for asking. I enjoyed it.
Before you go, remind us again about the pull tab drive. When's it going to be?
Saturday, April the 18th from 10 to 2 at the American Legion.
Very cool. We're very, very excited and hope you guys have a big turnout and lots of pull tabs.
Thanks. Us too.
Sabrina, you're back on next week. We're having another first-timer on the show. Yeah, you're back on the show. Don't look surprised, man. I got you on for the whole month of April, all right? We got Jim Hoyt on the show, and we're going to be reviewing Alexander, the big and terrible, horrible, bad day.
No good. Horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys know the title. So we'll be doing that one. We'll also be reviewing The Village, M. Night Shyamalan movie, and On Golden Pond with Katharine Hepburn and Peter Fonda or Henry Fonda, one of those guys.
Henry.
So that's coming up next. You can tell I've done my research.
Jane and Dad.
There you go.
There's the screen team for you. We'll see you back here next Saturday at 6 p.m. on 930 KWOC.